so nice to see you.
You too.
Good. Welcome to my house.
Thank you. Beautiful. So today, it's all about you. I want to know about Prince.
That's a tough one.
Tough one, but it's you.
Okay.
So we're going to have a discussion about you, how you started, UT Bank, the whole works, your family and everything.
Before that, let me show you around.
Okay, thanks.
You meet some family members.
Hi.
Hi, this is Dentaa.
Hi.
This is Mr. Ampa. That's Kofi. 4 bedrooms up and then 1 master bedroom. And the kitchen is this way. Okay. But my most favorite place is the gym.
The gym. So should we go to the gym?
So you can go and have a look at the gym.
Built by me.
Do you like sports?
Now I'm not so much into sports, but I have to make sure that I keep my body trim because I'm getting old. I try to do the gym about 2 times in a week, and then I play golf over the weekends, and that's a good routine. It keeps me fit. Here we are, small family gym, but we've got almost everything with the weights, the bench, and the multi-purpose thing, and treadmills. So that is where.
In terms of weight, how much can you pick up?
It's not how much you can pick up,
Oh,
but how many times you do it.
Okay.
So you can pick a heavy weight and do maybe just about 5 and put it down. And you can take small weights, but I prefer doing smaller weights and managing it and doing a lot more of it.
Okay.
But it's good. 1 hour in the gym and you're fit to go.
Every day?
No, twice a week.
Twice a
Not
week.
more than twice a week. Because you don't overdo it.
Do you
so
swim?
I swim too. This is my favorite room here. You come and listen to music and work out.
Not the underground. His earlier ambition was to become a scientist, and then he thought, maybe I'll go into engineering, but he ended up in the army. His children say he's very principled and not strict at all. Joining me is Prince Kofi Amoabeng, CEO of UT Bank. Kofi?
Akosia.
To say.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's nice to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me, in your beautiful home. It's really nice. As I said, your early ambition was to become a scientist.
Yes.
What changed?
Well, I think we all have kind of childhood aspirations. So I was good in maths and the sciences, so then to be a scientist.
Okay.
Then I wanted to become an engineer, but I didn't like chemistry for some reason. So I skipped chemistry 6th form and ended up doing physics, maths and economics, which then meant I had changed direction from engineering to business. So then I entered the School of Administration. And after school administration, I thought my life wasn't together.
Okay.
I lacked a bit of discipline. I couldn't handle my own life. I mean, I was a bit irresponsible. Just running from one nightclub to the other, and get home about 6 a.m. all the time. So I said I should find something to do with my life. And incidentally, I was just reading a graphic and I saw an advert, recruitment to the military academy. And I didn't like soldiers. We were fighting with them when we were on campus. But I read it and I said, with my indisciplined life, maybe this could change course. You have 3 square meals a day. You have a room to yourself, furnished by ordinance, the salary, and you have uniforms. And I said, then my problems are finished.
It's solved.
Yeah.
That is it. That's all you needed.
Yeah, so if I should blow the money or the money doesn't take me far, I'll still have 3 square meals a day. So that was my decision.
Wow. So how was school life?
School life was good. If you're good in a school like the college, it guarantees your future. Okay. I couldn't face my dad with bad grades, so I had to always do well for him.
Okay. Not for yourself?
No, not for myself. And he said, we have a contract. The contract is for me to study all the time and give him good grades, and he will not fail in paying my fees. So we shook hands on it. Wow. So I didn't want to fail with my part of the bargain.
There's a saying that says life begins at 40. But for you, it kind of started at 45.
Well, 45 is after 40, so it's still right. Maybe mine began, but it was a bit slow, and 45 it probably started to take shape.
So what was happening before then? What was...
I was doing all sorts of things, what we call general merchant. Anything that you can buy and sell for a margin, You buy it and try and look to sell it for a margin. Then we got a bit specific. We became importers. We were importing wines, tiles, and stuff like that. Also went into sawmilling. Then I got into air conditioning business. Then I got into oil a bit, downstream, and a bit of midstream because I was the local rep for Elf Aquitaine, which was bought by Total.
So how many years were you doing that before you started UT Bank?
All put together from 1982 when I left the army until 1996.
Oh.
So that is 14, 15 years.
Okay. Yeah. UT Bank, from being in the army, obviously doing this entrepreneurial kind of experimenting, failing, being successful in some of the businesses, and then why banking?
The whole thing started when I had frustrations with dealing with the banks. So the issue is that with my background as in a graduate in business, I was even lecturing at the stock exchange. I had done business for so many years. I was a chartered accountant, and I couldn't raise money from the banks. So then I kept asking, then who get money from the banks? It means almost nobody. And I think one thing led to the other, and I said, I think the banks are not serving the SMEs and the informal sector, and even for those of us who thought we were a bit formal or we had structures.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if they won't do it, someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't have money to set up a bank, and it's not easy to set up a bank, and individuals have never set up banks in Ghana before.
Yeah.
And we decided to set up a finance house that will not go the normal way of looking for collateral and going through all that rigmarole of doing credit, but will do credit based on trust and understanding the business. And of course, it was a bit naive, but that was the whole idea. And therefore, the name was Unique Trust, as in we establish a special trust with a person, then we can lend.
Then you can lend. From a small office.
It is from one room office. There were 4 of us, all by one table, no computer, no toilet facilities, one car, some 2 telephones and things like that.
And then how did it grow from there?
We made the normal mistakes. We didn't understand the people. We didn't have money to lend. We didn't even have clients to lend to. But we spent time walking around the market area in Cantonment to see what we can sell. I realized that people were lending informally at 50% a month.
A month?
Yeah. And even now, it still persists. But one interesting lending that I got to know was people would take the money in the morning and bring it back in the evening, and that was 10% a day.
Okay.
So I said, well, it's not really the rates that should scare us, because if people are prepared to take the money at 50% a month, and we could lend at 20% a month, we'll be doing them some service. So some of the first monies that we borrowed to on-lend, we borrowed at 84% per annum. And people were saying, it's crazy, how do you pay 84% per annum? It's crazy, how do you lend at 15% per month? But 84% per annum works out roughly 7% a month. And if we're lending at 15% a month, there was a margin, actually too much margin.
Yeah.
And that's how we started, lending at 15% a month and borrowing money at 84% or more per annum. Of course, we had to know the business and be there when the clients' monies come. And I remember the early days, I would visit the clients every day.
Every single day?
Every day, I would just go around and make sure they are all still in business.
Yeah.
And that they're working and that I have a good chance of collecting my money.
Yeah. But then how were you able to do that? Because in Ghana, there's no address system.
I always tell people that doing business in Ghana is not easy at all. Because the kind of structures and institutions that you need for the business to use as a platform, they are not there. So up to today, all our clients, we sketch to their homes, to their offices, and to the collateral, and put it on their file. And then we also have the problem with the individuals and their attitudes and our upbringing, our cultures, which also come into play and makes everything quite difficult. But you need to learn and believe in systems and structures and be disciplined to keep to those systems and structures. So the training in UT is about doing things in a limited number of minutes or days. So the time you take to interact with the staff or the client, make sure that it is the shortest time you need to perform that action. The only other thing is that make sure it's quality time, so they feel that they've been respected and that they've had a memorable experience. That's it.
Okay. They say behind every successful man, there's a woman. Now, was there a woman that was behind Mr. Prince Kofi Amoabeng at the time of him
I think mine is probably the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. So behind Kofi Amoabeng is really no woman, but maybe some women. Because the thing is, by the time we started Unique Trust, my wife had left me with my kids.
Wow.
Which helped because then I had no family, so I could put all my energies and all my love into what I was doing. So it helped, and I'm nice with my ex-wife. Whatever we've achieved is partly because of her action. So I'm not mad at her.
Wow.
So behind me, it's no woman.
No woman, but many other.
A bit like that.
How many children do you have? Because I know Koku, I know Violet.
I have 8 children.
8 children. And how are you as a parent to them, towards them?
I think I'm doing unto them what my dad did unto me. I am not strict as in being petty as to do this, don't do that. But they know what I stand for. And I think I've also created a kind of love that they don't want to break that relationship.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I haven't even said, but I know it won't come to this house, is to pierce your ears or do tattoo or do dreadlocks. And nobody does it because they know that the father can't stand it.
Yeah, because a lot of the Ghanaian family, it doesn't really happen. It's like daddy is almost kind of, you're afraid to talk to your dad about certain things.
Yeah, but I think we have to work to change that. I mean, I had a dad who was quite open on that front. I remember I asked my dad one time if he was still strong enough to perform. And he said, well, I hope you are not thinking about your mom. So I had that liberty to my dad. Why not? And it worked.
Yeah.
So why change it? So that's my attitude to life.
Growing up, my father has always been my best friend. He's very down to earth and he has a lot of compassion. Now, when I say down to earth, I mean he's able to relate to people from all walks of life because he has so much empathy. He raised us to work hard for everything that we have. Like, I started working in UT as receptionist, and now I'm procurement support officer. He wants us to learn and understand it the proper way before we can even begin to grasp what UT is to Ghana and to us. He's told us to never take our blessings for granted, never ever, and we should always thank God for what we have.
He's more of my best friend, so we have had really good times together. We went sky jumping. We had to jump 860 feet. Whilst we were on the lift going up, he says, son, let me take the lead. If anything happens to me, then you know that you don't actually have to jump off the building. I mean, when you have a father who's willing to risk his life, you're actually humbled and you admire him as well.
I'm not that strict on my staff. We have what we call a Ubuntu spirit, as in I'm what I am because of what you are, and we respect each other as much as possible. I have an open door policy. With my clients too, I have my telephone number in every branch of UT, so people call me to say all sort of things.
Wow.
And I have to have the patience to listen to them because it's about serving people.
As a business person, you are taught you must be ruthless, you must be hard, you must be cold, you must be driven by the money. But Mr. Amoabeng has turned that thinking on its head and has proven that first care about the customer, think about how you add value to their lives and their businesses, and the money would follow as a consequence.
Mr. Amoabeng is a different kind of leader. When you work with him, he gives you opportunity to dream. So my time at UT has been very interesting, and what I've been able to learn in the last 10 years, it would be difficult to find that kind of experience anywhere else.
Wow. So is it all about work? Because I know you don't take that much annual leave. Throughout the year, Kofi is working. Is there any time for actually socializing, going away?
I take my weekends very seriously.
Okay.
I put everything aside. I go to my village and I relax with friends and we play golf. And so by the time I come back Monday, I'm really very refreshed. A bit tired though, because then I regroup by Tuesday and things like that. So I don't really need leave, but occasionally I go on leave. I do a bit of sky jumping and then I do...
Because you've been sky jumping with Kweku one time.
Yeah. And I went scuba diving in Australia. So I enjoy life.
Apart from UT, is there any other businesses that you're doing?
UT is actually more than enough because it's not just about the bank.
The properties?
We have UT Properties, UT Life Insurance, UT Logistics, UT Private Securities, and then we have UT in South Africa and UT in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it's so much, even just with the UT, that I think there should be more cloning of myself to be able to carry on with the task, so I can put a bit of Amoabeng everywhere. You know, but I think I've got people who are quite committed to the cause. We look for the right people, and we set you up. You have to meet your targets and things like that, and you run your show.
From the time that UT Bank started till now, were there any time that you felt like giving up?
I'm not that kind of person. In actual fact, I like challenges. You know, the way we started as a non-bank, it was a gamble we took. And, you know, interestingly enough, it was difficult to get a banking license, especially for Kofi boy and his partner and the people, and then you work hard and have a bank. It was unheard of. But we decided, okay, we will list the financial service. So we listed it, raised some monies, and then used the monies to buy an existing bank, which was called BPI. And that was quite daring. In fact, people didn't know what was happening. All of a sudden, UT is listing, all of a sudden, UT has bought a bank, and then it's like, what's all this happening? And then the real challenges came, because when we bought the bank, we had a clash of cultures.
Okay.
You know. There was the UT FSL, Financial Services, kind of culture, which was positive, intimidating, and we could get things done.
Yeah.
And then there was the BPI, laid back, abused for a long time by these Malaysians, a very suspicious of management, no trust. And it took us quite some time, you know, for people to know that it's a new management style, it's about believing in ourselves, it's about a family spirit and respecting everybody and things. At that time, it was really tough. But we've gone over that, and at least we're still one unit. And we had to go through unions that we didn't know about, counseling and coaching and mentoring and things like that to be where we are now. But I never said, I've had enough.
I've had enough, never.
No.
Mr. Amoabeng is very much a man of his own mind. He makes his own decisions. The things that set him apart in business are his tenacity of purpose, his self-discipline, and the clarity of his thinking. It's been a privilege to see on a number of occasions the way he tackles problems. He'll take a pause, listen very, very carefully, process the issues, and he will come out with the one thing that everybody has been waiting for.
Wow. What does it take to be a good entrepreneur?
It takes a bit of discipline, taking risks, and takes a bit of taking your life into your own hands. So most people probably will start a job as a hobby.
Yeah.
But they must actually decide at some point in time if they think they have enough confidence the hobby is going to give them a break.
Yeah.
But you find them keeping it as hobby and keeping it as hobby because they don't want to move to the next step. So entrepreneurs, there's a bit of entrepreneurship in almost everyone.
Okay.
If you find passion in what you do, then you can do it. Always look out for a service or product that you really, really love. And then if you have a good heart, you want people to experience that. And that will make you an entrepreneur and a good one.
And a good one. Do you think that this country helps entrepreneurs and SMEs?
It doesn't. I mean, if you don't have addresses, the institutions like the police, the judiciary, the public service are all in the state in which they are. It's very difficult for entrepreneurs. Because you want to register a document, you know what you have to go through. You need a permit, you know what you have to go through. So people along the line just give up. And even for Ghanaians outside who want to come back home and have made their money, bringing the investment back to Ghana is a problem. But let's say it's not just the structures. It's the other aspect is to deal with the individuals themselves, the Ghanaians or the Africans themselves. Our attitudes for business is so wrong most of the time. Your recruitment policy, your procurement policy, your way of doing things is taken over by relatives, by pastors, by politicians, by chiefs. They tell you what to do. And that is not good for anybody. If you don't put the right person there, the business will not flourish.
So how do you say no to family members?
I say no to all of them. I mean, I go to Krantumi, I come with CVs, maybe about 10 of them. And I bring them to my HR boss and I said, these are CVs from my Krantumi people, see if they are okay. And they go through the whole process. I have brought them, maybe there's some that are really good, but he goes through the same process. And I'm not saying because they are from Kurantumi, give them any preferential
Yeah.
treatment.
It must be difficult being a CEO and people expecting that you have money. And so I'm sure that on a daily basis, you have people coming to you every day.
Coming. I don't think so.
No?
I don't think I'll ever get into politics.
Not at all.
I know for sure they won't even vote for me. Because the way I will say things, because if it's the truth, I have to tell you the truth. So I can't lie to the people.
Yeah.
But you need to lie to them to get their votes.
Yeah.
So I have a disadvantage right there.
Yeah, it's true.
When people go to the masses and give them things, presents or gifts and all kinds of things, it means they owe. They must have gotten the money from somewhere. So when they come to power, they must pay their debts and the interest on it and make profit.
Yeah.
So there's no chance for you to really
Yeah.
do your work, but
Yeah.
you have to compromise yourself and do all sorts of things. And that will be hard for me.
You also learn to be part of a family. You learn to follow the rules and subject yourself to the rules. It doesn't matter who you are, what your position is. And that is something you don't find a lot, especially in Ghanaian leaders, because they set the rules for others and they have the opportunity to flout it. But you won't find that working with Mr. Amoabeng. Mr. Amoabeng is by far the best employer I have worked with. I have grown in my role. I have had such a rich experience working with him, and I have developed personally by working with him.
Kofi, you are very inspiring. You inspire a lot of people, a lot of young people that are coming up, look up to you. They want to be as successful as you, being Ghanaian and having made it in Ghana. You've won numerous amount of awards, including the Guba Awards. And
Thank you very much.
how do you feel when somebody tells you that you inspire me or you receive an award? How do you feel?
I always think it's a result of the collective effort of UT, not Kofi Amoabeng per se. So it doesn't make me feel like I'm walking on any high ground. So all the awards that I've gotten are dedicated to the team. As in people saying I inspire them or something like that, I think a lot of Ghanaians, especially the youth, want to do something and they want some kind of role model. So I'm quite available some of the time to give some lectures and go and give some talks in some of the universities and some youth gatherings and things like that. I hope it broadens their outlook and it will contribute towards them achieving what they can achieve. But it's not easy, and I wish the macro environment will be improved a bit to enable businesses thrive. But all the same, we'll do the bit that we can, and the rest is for God.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having spent your time with me today on the show. My last request is that I have a CV. I'm looking for a job.
But Dentaa, nobody can employ you.
Ade, why?
Because you have achieved so much on your own.
Oh.
And you
Because
can't
every year
leave.
you know
You
what?
can't leave all that and come and take a month's
Maybe
salary.
send me
Come
a
on,
job,
let's
youth
face
event.
it.
Oh, my bedroom.
We can talk
We'll talk about it.
when the cameras are not there.
Thank you so much for
you.
joining us on the Dentaa Show. I hope you've been inspired by Mr. Prince Kofi Amoabeng, and we'll catch you on the other side.